Hello students, today I am going to discuss about the gut decontamination. Gut decontamination means it is a method of poison removal from the gastrointestinal tract or from the stomach. Again, this gut decontamination contains other 5 types. These are emesis, gastric lavage, activated charcoal, catharsis and whole bowel irrigation. We are using these 5 types for removing of the poison from the stomach. Okay, first we will see about the emesis. Emesis means normally we are inducing the vomiting in the poisonous patient by using Epicac. It is a one type of syrup. We are using Epicac syrup for inducing the vomiting in poisonous patients. The source of this Epicac, where we are getting from this Epicac means we are getting the root of shrubs. Shrub is nothing but it is a bush-like tree. We are getting from shrub of Cephalis epicacuana, otherwise Cephalis acuminata. From Cephalis epicacuana and Cephalis acuminata, these 2 types of plants. From these plants we are getting this Epicac syrup. Normally these plants, these trees we are seen in, we can only find in West Bengal. Okay, this Epicac syrup contains the constituents like cephalin, emitin and psychotropin. These 3 constants will be presented in this Epicac syrup. This emesis process we used only in the alert poisonous patients. We won't use in the coma patients. Next we will see the mechanism action of this Epicac syrup. That is something about how we are inducing the vomiting in poisonous patient. The mechanism action of this Epicac syrup is, first it activates the local peripheral sensor receptors in the GAT. First it activates the local peripheral sensor receptors in the GAT. Next it stimulates the central chemoreceptor trigger zone and also it activates the central vomiting center. By activating or stimulating these 3, we are inducing the vomiting in the poisonous patients. Next we will see the dose of this Epicac syrup. Epicac syrup for adults normally we will use 30 ml syrup. In children we are using 50 ml syrup. Okay, for adults 30 ml we will use, for children 15 ml syrup we are using. First, the vomiting does not occur in 30 minutes after administration of the syrup. If the vomiting does not occur in first 30 minutes, again we will repeat the same dose. In adults means again same 30 ml we are administering. If no response, then also this vomiting is not induced in the patient, then we are going to the next procedure, that is called stomach wash, otherwise gastric lavage. We will go to next procedure, stomach wash, and remove the poison from the stomach and also what we already administered, the Epicac syrup. This both we are removing by the stomach wash. Okay, next we will see the complication of this emesis process. The complication of this emesis process is, first one is arrhythmiasis. Arrhythmiasis means abnormal heart rhythm. Myocarditis, that means inflammation of the middle layer of the heart wall. Next me aspiration pneumonia. Here aspiration pneumonia means if any food particles, otherwise any liquid or any vomiting, it will goes into our lungs. That time it causes the lung infection, that is called aspiration pneumonia. Next one is Mallory Weiss tears. Mallory Weiss tears, it means it is a lacrimation of mucous membrane where esophagus meets the stomach. Where esophagus meets the stomach, in that place we will see like tear-like formations, like water drop-like formations. Usually this will occur due to in severe vomiting conditions only we will get this complication like Mallory Weiss tears. Next we will see the contraindications of emesis process. These are, in this condition we should not use this emesis process. These conditions are pregnancy, the children age less than 1 year, in old patients, in coma patients, if the patient have convulsions, if in case of corrosive poison consumption. Here corrosive means if the patient taken strong acids, in that case we should not use this emesis process. Next the petroleum products like kerosene, diesel, petrol, like that. If the patient will take like that things, like that substance, we should not use this emesis process. Next one is gastric lavage. This gastric lavage also called as stomach wash. Yeah, here in this gastric lavage, we are administering the small volume of different fluids which is suitable for that poisoning. It's the small volumes we are using in through the orogastric tube. This is orogastric tube means this is tube is placed through a mouth. From mouth we will placing a tube. We are the tube contains two sides. I will show now. Yeah, this is a tube. Tube is like that, and this contains one more small attachment. And tube is this is a orogastric. This orogastric tube contains two lumens. One is large suction lumen. Second one is lavage. Otherwise we'll call vent lumen. One is large suction lumen. One is lavage or vent lumen. This large suction lumen is useful for the removal of the stomach contents. This lavage or vent lumen is useful for it is used to send the suitable fluids for cleaning of the stomach. Here we contains in this orogastric tube contains two lumens, lavage or vent lumen and large suction lumen. Okay, we are using this orogastric tube for cleaning of the stomach. The procedure for this gastric lavage is, first we want to explain the procedure of the stomach wash to the patient. First we want to explain the procedure, how we are doing the stomach wash. Then we want to take his or her consent. We want to take their permission or we want to take their sign. If she or he does not accept, if they didn't accept, we want to stop this procedure. If they said okay, we will continue the procedure as same as I explained before. Okay, for the stomach wash we are using only oral route. We won't prefer this nasal route because it will causes the damage of the mucous membrane of the nasal mucous membrane. That's why we are not using nasal route and it causes the bleeding from the nose. That's why we are using only oral route is preferring for the stomach wash. Next, the solutions for the gastric lavage. Here some of the suitable solutions are there for different poisoning. Here for most of the poisonings we are using water or saline. In alkaloids or salicylates poisoning we are using potassium permanganate. For cyanides we are using sodium thiosulfate. For oxalates we are using calcium gluconate. For iron we are using defuroxamine. Like that, for different type of poisoning we are using the different suitable solutions for the doing of stomach wash. Okay, next the complication of this gastric lavage or stomach wash. Aspiration pneumonia, as I said earlier in emesis. Laryngospasm. Laryngospasm is nothing but there is a uncontrolled muscle contraction at the larynx. Larynx means this is one of the other name of larynx is voice box. In the site of voice box there is a uncontrolled muscular contraction. In that case we should not use this stomach wash or gastric lavage. And vagal inhibition. Vagal inhibition means is the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve, it normally connects the brain to the other parts of the body. When this vagus nerve vagal inhibition is occurred, it leads to death. In that situation we should not use this gastric lavage. And cardiac arrhythmias. Cardiac arrhythmias means abnormal heart rhythm. Next, stomach or esophageal perforation. If we do continuous stomach wash or gastric lavage, it will cause the holes on the mucous membrane of the stomach. These are the some of the complications if we do continuous stomach wash or gastric lavage. These and all complications will occur. Okay, next, contraindications of gastric lavage. In these conditions, we should not use gastric lavage. That one, any recent surgery in the stomach. Next, advanced pregnancy. Advanced pregnancy means the women who are trying for pregnancy at the age of 35 or older. In that age people, we should not use this stomach wash. The coma patient, alkali and acid poisonous patients, and petroleum products poisonous patients, we should not use this gastric lavage. Next procedure is catharsis. Okay, catharsis means here we are inducing the purgation. That means here we are removing the poison through the feces. We are cleaning the stomach by using some solutions. Here we are using the solutions like saline, and also we are using saccharides. We are using this both type of solution, and we are cleaning the stomach, and we are removing the poison through the feces. In the saline mainly we are using the solutions like magnesium citrate and magnesium sulfate and sodium sulfate. These type of things we are using for cleaning the stomach through the process of catharsis. In saccharides mainly we are using the sorbitol as a cathartic. Okay, in saccharides we are using a sorbitol is the cathartic of choice. The dose of saccharides, the sorbitol is 50 ml of 70% solution we are using for the cleaning of the stomach through the process of catharsis. The complications of this catharsis are excessive diarrhea and hypermagnesemia. Because we are using many magnesium products, it leads to hypermagnesemia. Next, the contraindications of this catharsis process is corrosive agents. In case of corrosive poison, in case of pre-existing diarrhea means already the patient have diarrhea, in that condition we should not use this catharsis process. Next one is okay, in this activated charcoal, how we are getting this activated charcoal? For burning the wood, coconut shells, bone and sucrose or rice starch. We are going to burn or steam these products. In the steaming process, we are getting a powder like particles called activated charcoal. This activated charcoal is a fine, black, odorless and tasteless powder. Here odorless means smell, no smell. Fine, black, odorless and tasteless powder. Okay, I will say one example for this activated charcoal. Nowadays we are getting a face wash like Pond's activated charcoal. When we use this face wash, it removes dirt from our face. Like this same mechanism we are using in the poisonous patients also. In poisonous patients, when we use this activated charcoal, it absorbs the poisoning. It absorbs the poisoning and it eliminates from our body. That's why we are removing the poisoning from our gastrointestinal tract. Here we are using the dose of activated charcoal is 1 gram per kg body weight. We are using 1 gram per kg body weight. Like that, for adults 50 to 100 grams, for children 10 to 30 grams of activated charcoal we are using. Next, the contraindications of this activated charcoal procedure. Proven ileus. Proven ileus means it is a paralysis of muscles of the GIT. Next, caustic injection, that is strong acid consumption and petroleum products consumption. In these cases, we should not use this activated charcoal. Next, we have the charcoal absorption to different types of poisoning. Here we have well absorbed, moderate absorbed, poorly absorbed. How, for which poisoning, how this activated charcoal is active, we will see. For well absorbed, for neuroleptics, antihistamines, atropine, benzodiazepines, barbiturates, beta blockers and chloroquine. These type of poisonings, this activated charcoal will absorb. It will absorb more and it eliminates from the body. This activated charcoal moderately absorbed to the poisons like oral hypoglycemic agents, kerosene, paracetamol, phenol and salicylates. Next, this activated charcoal poorly absorb the poisons like alcohol, cyanide, corrosives, heavy metals and ethylene glycol. This is about activated charcoal. This activated charcoal also called as universal antidote because we can use this activated charcoal for many of the poisons. That's why we are calling activated charcoal is a universal antidote. The next procedure is whole bowl irrigation or whole gut lavage. Whole bowl irrigation or whole gut lavage. Okay, this whole bowl irrigation also, it is same like gastric lavage. In gastric lavage we are using only small amounts of fluids and we are removing contents from the stomach by using the orogastric tube. But in this whole bowl irrigation we are using large volumes of the sample or large volumes of the fluid and we are inducing the diarrhea and we are removing poison through feces. There from the stomach only we are sending the fluids, from stomach only from mouth only we are sending the fluids, from mouth only we are removing the poisoning. But here we are sending the large fluids from the mouth and we are removing the poison through feces. The solutions we are used in whole bowl irrigations are polyethylene glycol plus electrolytes. Okay, we are using both polyethylene glycol and electrolytes. Not only that, we are using high molecular weight polyethylene glycol. The molecular weight is 3350. PEG 3350 means it is a polyethylene glycol with high molecular weight. Okay, next the indications mean the uses of this whole bowl irrigation. We can use this whole bowl irrigation in heavy metal poisoning, that sustained release preparations and ingestion of large quantities of toxic drug. When we take large quantities of drug we can use this whole bowl irrigation. Also we can use that slowly dissolved drugs like iron tablets, paint chips, etc. Not only that, we can use this whole bowl irrigation in the ingestion of cocaine filled packets. The poisoning which is associated with this cocaine filled packets is also called as body packer syndrome. These are the uses of the whole bowl irrigation. Next we see the procedure of this whole bowl irrigation. First we will insert a nasogastric tube into the stomach through mouth. From the nose we are inserting this nasogastric tube and we are administering the solutions, the suitable solution at room temperature. Normally we are using 2 liters per hour in adults and 0.5 liters per hour in children, and we are making patient to sit. We won't patient make lie. We will make patient to sit. Then we will use the metoclopramide IV. This metoclopramide is a anti-emetic drug. Why we are using metoclopramide here? For reducing the emesis, for reducing the vomiting, we are using metoclopramide. Here our motto is we are removing the poison through feces, not we are removing the poison through vomiting. That's why we want to reduce the vomiting and we are induces the diarrhea in the patients. In that process the poison will eliminated through the feces. Next, the complications of this whole bowl irrigation is vomiting, abdominal distension means swelling of the abdomen, and abdominal cramping means there is a muscle contractions in the stomach. It leads to pain, and also will get anal irritation due to diarrhea. These are some of the complications of whole bowl irrigation: vomiting, abdominal distension, abdominal cramping, and anal irritation. Okay, next the contraindications of whole bowl irrigation is gastrointestinal obstruction and hemorrhage. Hemorrhage means bleeding, any bleeding is there of the stomach. Perforation means holes formation of mucous membrane of the stomach. In these conditions we should not use this whole bowl irrigation process. This is about gut decontamination. In that again gut decontamination we have 5 different types. From each type we have the different procedure to eliminating the poisoning from the stomach. Next procedure is poison elimination. In the next video I will discuss about the poison elimination. Thank you.